There is a dispute with a lot of dimensions. The sanctions on Iran are beyond being unfair. It is not effective at all.
But they're hurting.
The United States should not enjoy hurting us. They should look for the end result. Does it stop Iran's capability for developing its nuclear facilities on the peaceful means? Definitely not. So it is a failure.
As you know, it's about whether Iran has or plans to have a military nuclear capability. What is Iran prepared to give when negotiations start?
The equation is simple. The Western community can ask us for more transparency. What we want in place of that, in front of that, is cooperation. I mean, we cannot be put to the corner and say, everybody asks, you should be transparent, you should be transparent, nothing given to us. It is honest to God right of us, as signatories to NPT, to have access to the facilities in the world, to the cooperation. I mean, the bad thing is that when we asked to buy 20% enriched uranium for the Tehran nuclear reactor, nobody was ready to sell it to us. It was our honest to God right to be able to buy it. So then we said, okay, let us swap it. Then the United States said, you should give us all of your enriched uranium. But this is not called swapping. This is clean up the stock. So we went ourselves, we made it, so we have it. Yes, we are ready for cooperation. So the equation is simple. From us, they should ask transparency. We are ready to go to full transparency.
Full transparency.
Full transparency.
More than you're giving now under your legal
Definitely.
Obligations.
Even we can go as a formula like Japanese one.
Which is what exactly?
Well, this is persistent, not only instrumental, but human monitoring. No problem.
Additional protocol.
It is more than additional protocol. This permanent human monitoring. But it should not come at the first stage. I mean, this is two parallel lines. One step transparency from us, one step cooperation from the Western. Because if we have total suspicion of the Americans and Western intentions.
So what do you want to hear them say?
Well, Iran's right to use fully all of its possibilities under NPT.
So the right to enrich and the right to continue a civil program.
And then they should ask us for more transparency. That's fantastic. We agree with that. The best thing is that we take steps which leads to whatever they say, adding the confidence, and also it will give us also the confidence. The lack of confidence is both ways.
The Prime Minister of Israel believes that Iran has a nuclear weapons intent and one that will be aimed at Israel. And therefore, this talk and this feeling of crisis and war is all around. Is Iran preparing for war?
We are fully prepared to defend ourselves. And everybody knows in the region that Iran is not an aggressor, but Iran is a fierce defender. And Netanyahu should be worried about their policies in the region. They are in real crisis. I think the real bomb is not the atomic bomb of Iran. The real bomb is the great failure of Israel to prove its legitimacy and to define a meaningful relation in the region.
Meantime, everybody talks about what President Ahmadinejad said a few years ago, that Israel should be wiped from the face of the map. People believe that that means militarily. Is that what the president meant? Is that Iran's intent?
Oh, definitely not. I think neither president meant that, nor it is a policy of Iran.
You said Iran knows how to defend itself.
Yes, pretty well.
What would you do?
Well, we know how to do it. So we are fully prepared because we learned this lesson from the hard way and during the 8 years of war.
There are ways that people are concerned that Iran would retaliate if struck. Closing the Straits of Hormuz. Would you do that?
Well, here I want to copy the wording of President Obama. Every possibility is on the table, so nothing should be excluded.
You said that from Iran's part, total transparency is on the table. And yet, today, the IAEA is saying that Iran is unwilling to allow them to go to the Parchin military site. They believe that earlier in the decade, a container area was built for the testing of explosive devices.
Well, first of all, this Parchin issue is a recurrent issue. Once it has been discussed, and a lot of evidence was given to the agency. But still, with the new request, Iran did not reject that. Iran asked elucidation on what basis, what kind of test they want to do, when they want to look, and what will be the end result. As I said, it is a two parallel line. If the Western community is asking us for more transparency, then we should expect for more cooperation.
Is anything nuclear related happening, or did it happen at Parchin?
Not at all. I think they know pretty well. I think United States intelligence services and the West, and they know that we are not after building nuclear weapons. This is part of a game about us. The Western community can ask only from us transparency under NPT. We also obliged. We have to give them the transparency, but it is also our honest-to-God right to ask for cooperation in other parts of NPT. Let's make a parallel.
Iran's supreme leader the other day again mentioned his fatwa against nuclear weapons. He called it, again publicly, a great sin. What message is he sending? Is he sending a message to President Obama that Iran will not cross Obama's red lines, will not go military in its nuclear program?
Iran is a serious player in the region. Iran is not after nuclear weapon. The message is clear. Deal with Iran as it is. Iran is not after nuclear weapon. Nuclear weapon is not an asset for us, it's more liability. Pakistan has nuclear weapon. You see, it's a shamble country in terms of security. It doesn't add to our security. We are secure enough, we are strong enough without nuclear weapon, and it is against the fatwa of Ayatollah Khamenei. Nobody has daring to do that.
So even if Iran was attacked, you wouldn't decide to go towards a nuclear military program?
This is the fatwa of Imam Khomeini and the fatwa of Ayatollah Khamenei. So if somebody thinks in the world that by attacking Bushehr or other places in Natanz,
or Fordow,
then Iran will be deprived or delayed for 10, 20 years in their progress in the development of nuclear technology, they are deadly wrong.
Is there an opportunity for some kind of, I don't want to use grand bargain, but some kind of big negotiation to normalize relationships between Iran and the United States?
I'm one of those most outspoken person during the past 3 decades favoring dialogue with the United States. Even with your fiercest enemy, you should have a line of dialogue and sit down and talk.
So I guess the question is all this worth it? The billions of dollars that you've spent, the years under sanctions, the crisis that could be coming to a head, is it all worth it?
Oh, yes.
Because it actually hasn't materially enriched you.
No, very much enriched us. We are not secondary citizens of the world. We are #1 citizen of the world. We want to enjoy exactly the same rights the United States and United States people enjoying at the international level. Don't tell us that you are a little bit below. This is almost impossible that any Iranian can buy it. So if the United States has the right to enrich uranium, to build its power plant, we have the right as well. We want to build power plant ourselves, the next one, and we can do it. So treat us as a first-degree citizen. Then we will be more forthcoming.
Mr. Larijani, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.